So what happened is when I left college, I went into management consulting. So I
Uh,
had a very nice corporate job,
mhm.
making good money. I was traveling the world, and then someone handed me that little purple book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. And I think if if you're in real estate and you haven't read this book, then you really need to read this book, right, by Robert Kiyosaki.
A game changer.
So yeah, total game changer. So that was really transformative in terms of how I saw real estate. And again, this goes back to like I was like, this is something that is simple. It's not easy because again, it takes work, but
Yeah,
I wasn't scared of the work. I can, again,
yeah.
as we talked about, the work is the easy part for us because we've been doing it all our lives, right? But it was a simple strategy to follow. And I just love all the tax benefits. And I love just the whole idea of getting out of the rat race, right? Trying to
Yeah.
create financial independence.
Hmm.
Like it just resonated with me. And I said, this is what I had to do.
Hmm.
So that was around 2000, 2001. So
Hmm.
I started buying real estate, and really my goal was just try to accumulate as much real estate as I could buy. And if you
Hmm.
remember that time,
Yeah.
you didn't even have, I mean, you just needed a pulse to get a loan, right? It was like they just checked if you're alive and okay, we'll give you 100% financing. So unfortunately, I was able to buy quite a bit, like a few $1 million in real estate. And my strategy was equity appreciation, right?
Hmm.
So my thinking was, look, if I have $1 million of real estate and it appreciates 5% a year, that's $50,000 that
Yeah.
I'm wealthier, right? Yeah, equity on paper. Um, and I was like, great. So if I do 2 million, then 5% is 100,000. That
Hmm.
sounds like a great plan, right? So my strategy was equity appreciation. So eventually, I bought about it's just under between $3 and $5 million in real estate in like 3 states, and I was like, this is great. I'm on my way, right?
You were
And
going up like this. You're
yeah,
like, man.
it's just going up, and then you look at it. It's like these GameStop, right? Investors. It looks great on paper, right? But it's just on paper, and there's a lot of hot air
Uh-huh.
beneath that, right? And as you know, it's hard to cash flow in California. I think you got to find the right niches to cash
Hmm.
flow, and I'll get to that point later. But so if I could get a property where I just broke even on it, I was happy with that, right? So I amassed a nice size portfolio, and then 2008 happened, right? Mortgage meltdown, real estate just crashes, and now that I look back at it, I realize I was part of kind of that herd mentality, right? I had a group, I surrounded myself with a group of people who all thought that, hey, this ride's never going to end, right?
Yeah.
The equity ride's never going to end. It's good. Real estate has never crashed before. This is going to be fine. But if you step away from it now, and hindsight's 2020, right? It's like you can't keep inflating a bubble and an asset where there's nothing behind it, right? There has to be income behind it. There has to be something of value behind it. And it was just a lot of hot air, basically. And we thought that the ride was going to go on forever. So I think it was like that groupthink mentality. And that's one thing I caution people. And so essentially what happened is that I woke up one day and my net worth was like negative half a million, right? On paper, I was just like upside down. I was just It's just like getting hit by like this tidal wave and just not knowing what happened, not seeing it coming. So I had no idea that we were going to crash so bad. I think most people didn't, right? And so I remember sitting there with she was my fiance at the time, and I was just like, I don't know what happened. Like this is crazy, and
Yeah.
so, but here's the difference with me was like I didn't give up on real estate. I was still like, this is how I'm going to build wealth one way or another. And I just fell off the horse and just kind of dusted myself off. And everybody was running from real estate, but I was like, no, I'm going to get back in the game and I'm going to figure it out. And, and that's when kind of things changed for me.